Hey, shalom, shalom. All right, first and foremost, all praises be to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, and Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well, and sincerity taught us this truth. And shalom to the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. It's your brother Yerami Kazak, back with hopefully another edifying lesson through the spirit, power, and strength of Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, the true names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yahweh equals He is, He exists. Yahweh Shai equals He saves, He delivers, He is salvation. And Rakakadash equals a spirit that's holy, a spirit that's set apart. All right, this will be a pre-camp lesson, just flowing through the spirit. About to go out in about 30 minutes to an hour, So, just wanted to hit a real quick live, man. And this one will be entitled, more so, Nobody's Gonna Hold Your Hand. Okay? This ain't, it's not for men. The key word there being men. This is not for men to hold your hand. Alright? So nobody's gonna wipe your ass for you, man. But it's a lot of Jake where you don't want to do what you're supposed to do. You don't want to, your research skills are trash, or, you don't put forth no effort, right? And that right there, that shit has to stop, okay? We fighting, man, brothers ain't going to fight for you in a sense where they going to pick up your sword and swing for you. Come on, man. Then if I do that, I'm going to get stabbed my damn self, So it basically goes into the parable of the oil, right? And if a brother could put that in the comments, okay? But, while somebody get that, I'm going to go to Philippians. All right? And this is chapter 2, verse 1. If there be therefore any consolation in Hamashiach, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of the Spirit, if any bowels and mercies, fulfill ye my joy, that you be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. So like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. Okay? That effort that a brother's putting in, that passion that a brother's putting in, right? You may do it in your own way, but you still need to put in that effort and that passion. We don't need to be thinking that, and you missing and you just falling out, You got to have that same love towards Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, right? The parable of the virgins, the 10 virgins, all right? The foolish and the wise, Baba Kishore. So, it says, and the caption, as you can see right here, is be of one accord and one mind, right? It's not no other way you can come up. You have to come up the same way, the correct way, the proper way. It's only one way to walk into the kingdom, all right? Throw out a that's good. I'll go over there and get it. So it's only one way, man. So for you individuals that you want to come up a different way, you think you're gonna come in the heavens by music, or you gonna come in by podcasting, or you gonna come in by, that's not it. All right, you're gonna bring in your worldly trend. Oh, you was this and that in the world, so you think you can be that in this truth? No. It's a humbling situation. How are you reforming if you bringing everything that you had in the world with you? Is that a sign of reforming? No, you're more so you're a hoarder. You're hoarding demons. You're hoarding spirits that was on you in the world, and you're bringing it into this truth. You got to clean all this shit out. What did Yahweh Shai tell the rich man? Give all that you got away and come and serve me. Loosely quoting. So you trying to bring everything that you got and obtained in the world to this truth? That's not how it works. It doesn't work out like that. Verse 3, let nothing be done through strife or vain glory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves. treating brothers like brothers, treating brothers with respect, you know, being cool, calm, and dealing with brothers, not talking over brothers, right? Ruling over your own spirit. Yeah, bro, we all could swing the sword, right? But I love to watch 300 because the unity and the way that those brothers moved, you know, everybody lifted their shield at one time. Everybody struck at one time, right? It was unity. Nobody was stepping over each other. Nobody was stepping on nobody's toes. One band, one sound. Drumline, kind of brother put it. One band, one sound. Freaking Devin Miles had to figure out this whole shit wasn't about him. You know, when he got his ass hit in the face with that drum, when they was fighting at the homecoming, he had to understand this whole band is not about him. He might be a nice ass band player, but that doesn't mean nothing. All right? You have to fit in and flow. Chemistry. Brotherhood. What's the thing about a brotherhood? You know? It's to fit in and to flow and to be a one mind and one sound and to be of that sound doctrine. To move with one another. Keeping it going. Verse 4. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Hamashiach Yahushua. Okay? Who, being in the form of power, thought it not robbery to be equal with power, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men. When you go forth, Yahushua could have boasted. Hey, he doing this, he doing that, he doing this, he doing that. You understand? He healing. He teaching, he cutting, but did he ever cut? Did he ever boast? No. He said, if I wanted to, I could bring legions of angels. If I wanted to, but he had to do the will of the Father. We are in a humbling position. Some of us may be given great measures of the Spirit, right? But that's not of us. It's of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. So anything that you do bring out, anything that is you're given you're fortunate enough to wander upon, to stumble upon, and the Spirit jumps onto you to bring it out, then that's of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. That's not of you. That's not of you. You know what I'm saying? You just a vessel. I think a lot of brothers be forgetting that, man. You are just a vessel. You're making yourself as a living sacrifice. You are just a vessel. This is the thing about Esau's kingdom, man. Everybody, he gasses up everybody and thinking that they got it. That's why you bubblehead bitches, man. Y'all be thinking that y'all the shit. All right? Or you dudes that, you know, whatever it be, playing sports and you thinking you the shit. You been gassed up, all the girls on you. You thinking you the shit. When all that could be stripped away from you just like that. Be humble. Be of a lowliness. Be lowliness in your mind. Be humble and meek. Let's read 7 again. But made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men. This is the greatest of us all, Yahweh Shah. But he took on the form of a servant. He lowered himself. And being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. Wherefore power also have highly exalted him and given him a name which is above every name. So same thing with John the Baptist. He said, I must decrease, he must increase. You lower yourself. What's the scripture, man? Sirach. The more a man is, the more reputation you get, the lower you become. You should be lowering yourself. Stop getting gassed up in everything that you can do. Yeah, I cut these Christians up, man. You see me the other day? Okay, so what? Ain't that what you supposed to do? Last time I checked, that's what we supposed to do. We supposed to bring out the word. This ain't about cutting no Christian up. You brought out the word. That's what it is. You brought out the word. You taught. You was a teacher. So you taught well. Okay, good job. Now do it again. I mean, what? You want a cookie? I think brothers be really wanting cookies. I'm going to start passing out cookies, man. Give me a cookie. I brought out a precept. Give me a cookie. What is that about, man? John 13:16 from the brother Kakuma. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. This goes back to Yahushua making himself of no reputation. You know? Are we really following Yahushua? Or are we boasting on our works? Are we really following Yahushua? Ask yourself that question. Are you moving how he would move? Are you doing that? It's crazy. Keeping it going. Verse 10 back in Philippians. That at the name of Yahushua, every knee should bow, of things in heaven and things in earth and things under the earth, and that every tongue should confess that Yahushua HaMashiach is Lord, to the glory of power, the Father. All right? So, he has been exalted to that position for the way that he came and lowered himself when he came. So, you take yourself and lower yourself to a humble and a meek position, your reward comes at the latter end. And that's a beautiful thing. It comes at the latter end. We're not seeking the reward right now. So don't get puffed up in your gifts. I hope I'm making some sense, man. Don't get puffed up in whatever gift you have been given. This is Romans 12:3. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think. That's a great one to cuff. All right. But to think soberly, according as power have dealt to every man the measure of faith. We're not about to sit here and say we know everything. You will never hear us say that. All right. Among Great Millstone and affiliates. No, we're not going to say that. We say that we got 100% truth, most definitely. But we're not going to say we know everything. I think many individuals confuse it. You confuse the statement. Okay? Just by saying we have 100% truth, that does not mean I need to stop reading the Bible. All right? You understand? It means that, hey, the breakdowns are there. I can go and learn it. I can go and learn this. I can go and learn that. I can learn this breakdown. I can learn that breakdown. Understand? Hey, get this Omega, get your ass up out of here. Okay? I'm going to get him up out of here myself. All right? So we're not going to say that we know everything. It's so much more that we have to learn. This is why we encourage brothers to study, to read, to watch the breakdowns, to watch the lessons. I told y'all I just went through the whole book of Acts. Right? Researched it, went through it, studied it. Right? We're growing. We're learning. You know, so this is a constant being studious. You never get caught up thinking that you know everything. That's what's wrong with a lot of Jake, man. A lot of brothers on this TikTok app or wherever you see them teaching, thinking that they know how to teach. You got this idiot Israel Firstborn right now doing lives every single day, teaching improperly and incorrect. So much blood on his hands. All right. Doesn't believe in reincarnation, doesn't understand, didn't even understand the true Sabbath, and we broke it down to him. But I bet you he's not keeping it tonight, because these individuals are blinded, man. They don't want this truth. They're puffed up in a little bit of knowledge. You thought you became an Israelite. You found out you was an Israelite, because you can't become an Israelite. You can find out that you are one, and then you learn a couple breakdowns. Maybe 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, and you think that's it. You think it's some shit like college, like getting a GED or something. No, this is ongoing, forever. All right, Proverbs 16 and 18 from the brother Nakaf. Let's go get it. It's not no time period while you're in this flesh where you should stop studying and stop growing and stop learning. The word being, stop being complacent and don't procrastinate. Put your best foot forward. Going back to us having that same mind, that effort. If we all strong, how can we be weak? Ask yourself that question. If we are all strong, how could we be weak? This is Proverbs 16 and 18 from the brother. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. Exactly. Exactly. That's great. You know. Now we have, in a sense, understand this. We have pride in being Yasharahla, yes. All right, maybe even going to our tribes. Yes, I'm proud, right? But I'm still humble and I'm still meek. I know that I'm still in captivity. That this is not the place where I'm in myrrh. This is the place where I'm in mourning. Kind of meditate on the word. Exactly, Joshua 1 and 8. Yeah. So we're in a sense of we rejoice by knowing this truth, but we don't get our heads puffed up. We still know we have to go and walk that road, which is a hard road full of persecution, full of pain, full of sorrow. You know, that's the road that we're walking. All right, let's get some more of this. Verse 19, better is it to be of an humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. He that handleth a matter wisely shall find good, and whoso trusteth in Yahweh, happy is he. The wise in heart, in the mind, shall be called prudent, and the sweetness of the lips increaseth learning. Understanding is a wellspring of life unto him that hath it, but the instruction of fools is folly. So what are you giving in America? You're giving everlasting folly. You know, as long as this kingdom lives, you're giving folly. Right here, you swipe up on this live, swipe up from this. I bet you going into some folly. I bet you going into some folly. They in the live talking about Jesus. They in the live talking about Yahweh, Yeshua, Yahuwah. That's folly. All right, you got all these lives where they cleaning up or they doing whatever, man, making music. All right, okay, DJing. I see all these different type of lives, man. You got all these lives where these females is just sitting down talking. It's folly. There's no benefit in that. Why would I want to get on here and watch you talk if you're not teaching? So it's pointless. America is pointless. It's death. This is the valley of the shadow of death. And that's in more ways than just physical. It's in spiritual death. This is the congregation of the dead. It's in mental. It's destroying your mind. Emotionally, it's bad for your emotions. This place is extremely wicked. It kills you 5 different type of ways at one time, man. The food, whatever it be. All right? But you want to encourage this place and dwell in this place and linger in this place. You haven't reformed your mind. Therefore, going back to that Philippians, you don't have the same mind as the brothers. You're not moving in the same understanding as the true believers. You don't never see our elders lift themselves up, man. Okay? You don't never see that. They are servants. So therefore, we are the same way. We are low. We are meek. We are servants. The fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah runs through us. That pushes us to do lessons. Bring it out properly and correctly. All right, let me get that. James 4 and 6 from the brother Nakaf. And it reads, but he giveth more grace, wherefore he saith, power resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. Kind, man. You know, I think that's going to be one of the last ones because I'm about to get out on the corners, but that's perfect. All right. So he resisteth the proud. He giveth grace to the humble. He's going to protect and deal with the humble. They have humbled themselves. They are meek. They move properly. All right. I get that Revelations 18:4 for the brother, because I see a lot of brothers messing up Revelations 18:4, failing to understand it. So Revelations 18:4 reads, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues." Now that's talking about us going actually into the chariots. All right. You got some individuals that don't even believe in the chariots, when you can look up in the skies and see them moving about. They don't even believe that our salvation is going to come from the clouds, which means UFOs, chariots, etc., etc. Okay? So that right there is talking about us leaving Babylon, and then the nukes coming down to hit this place. Right? Now, even before that, what do you want to do? You want to come out of her spiritually, meaning that's going back to Acts 3:19. You want to repent and convert. Leave her ways alone. All right? Individuals think we're going to get on boats and things of that nature. No. Esau is coming down on you with military warfare. He won't allow you to get on no boat. Your means of salvation is not carnal. How did Yahweh Shah leave? Can anybody answer me that question? How did our king Yahweh Shah leave? As the angel came and told them, brothers, the same way that he left, the same way he will come back. Right? Via a chariot. Okay? A chariot. So we have one question. I believe it's let me see. Lake of Grace. It's a sister. She said, is there Asian ethnic groups as the tribes? So the majority of the Asians would be either Moab or Ammon. Okay? But you have Israelites that are mixed and mingled in those lands. Okay? So really it's about your bloodline going back to any of these tribes. Okay? Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, all the way down to Issachar. Your bloodline going back to the forefathers. All right, so, we could tell that by Romans 8:16, going off of your spirit. And the curses also would show that, Genesis 49 in a sense. So you have Israelites scattered in Asia, most definitely. All right, so you have plenty of Israelites over there, and we will know in the last days, or if they dealing, they watching the brothers and things of that nature, then that's also a sign, because the truth is making sense to them. It's resonating with them. Okay, you said you adopted, so you don't even know your real parents. Well, hey, if any of this was making sense to you, and you thought like, it was sounding good or whatever it may be, all right, then, hey, it's possible. But yeah, when somebody's adopted, that's actually a curse. Matter of fact, let's go get that. I turned right to Deuteronomy 28, man. That's crazy. Alright, this is what is that? No might in their hands. Deuteronomy 28:32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. So, also talking about, group homes, boys' homes, stuff like that, being adopted, being orphans, or in slavery times where you would have Jake, they would have a kid and the baby would automatically be stripped from them and given to another plantation to separate them. That's part of the curses. So that type of stuff. So being adopted not being raised by your original parents, that is a curse, you know. She said, my adopted mom found me on the street of China when I was 2 years old. Yeah, that's wild. Oh, one child policy law back then. Okay, kind, I understand that. Oh, she China, she Chinese for real. If anybody could, check out her page. I mean, you could be, but the sister said, so I'm super cursed. No, you could be, but we would have to more so go into your spirit to see how you carry yourself, and the spirit would have to bear witness. What the elder said, your people are from southern China, there's a high chance you're an Israelite. The brother said you use the name Yah, so that's that ain't really, because everybody using Yah these days, but that's an implication that her spirit may be crying out for this truth, in a sense, if she's actually seeking a form of Yahweh or Yahweh Shah. But yeah, as the brother Kakama said, just keep coming around and call on Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. So Yahweh, if the brother's saying you using the name of Yah, Yah simply means he. So his true name would be he is, he exists. All right? It would be Yahweh. All right? You left the Baptist church? Okay, that's beautiful. And then the son's name would be Yahweh Shah, which means he saves, he delivers, he is salvation. Those would be the true names, the correct and proper names of the Father and the Son, right? And if you have some questions, I got like 15 minutes, sister. You can ask some questions. Go ahead. You can go ahead and ask your questions. And anybody else, man, if anybody else got any type of questions, okay. You said, I just started learning about Yahuwah and Yahushua. Yeah, okay, so those names would be incorrect, improper, due to no you being in the Hebrew language, right? Yeah. So the you was given to us. Really, it came out with the Renaissance, all right, around the 1400s. And then it began to be printed around the 1600s, really predominantly 1700s. The U was put into the, the English language. So it would be no U, no O, no E, and no V, no J, or no F in the Hebrew. So in the Hebrew, the Ibar, it would be Lashawan Kadash, the holy language or the holy tongue, right? So it would be none of those vowels found in the language. All right, so once again, for Brother Cook, I'll comment it. The names would be Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. So whoever was teaching you Yahuwah and Yahushua, I would suggest you do not listen to them, because honestly, they don't have the Holy Spirit. They don't have the proper names. Where can I read and learn? The brother is giving you a YouTube page, GMS Elders the Milk. I'm going to pin it right here. You can go on there and begin. All right, that's a good start. That's who we learn from. And then also, just tap into the lives and continue to get fed. Take notes on the scriptures that we bringing out, right? So I'm going to get that Psalms 19:7 that the brother put. Where do you get your scriptures then? The Bible. All my from studying, from just simply studying and reading and learning from the elders, and listening to brothers and stuff like that. Just studying over time. This is Psalms 19:7. The law of Yahweh is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of Yahweh is sure, making wise the simple. And that would more so, be talking about milk. So as you come in, you need to hold on to the milk. She said, yes, I meant the physical copy. Where can I get one? Oh, yeah. I think in China, they kind of, they shutting it down. Yeah. Do y'all have Amazon in China? I don't think they got Amazon out there, bro. Oh, you're not in China. Okay, good. Good. Man, hold up, man. Let's see if she can. Sister, if you could come up, man, we could do this quicker, cause Are you in California? Okay, great. I'm in California. So Amazon. You can go on Amazon, or you can, well, based upon what city you in, you could go to Barnes and Noble and get a Bible.
Okay, hello.
Hello, Shalawam.
Hi.
How you doing, sister?
I'm doing well. I'm super curious because I'm super new to everything. Literally, I quote unquote came to Christ like just a year ago. And this whole year I'm just uncovering so many layers of truth. If that if that makes sense. Just this whole year it's of itself. I'm just I left my church and then I learned about Yahuwah, or the name that I just told you guys, and then now it's another layer of okay, that's not his real name. So it's I'm what is the truth, So yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, well, you said where can you get a physical copy of the Bible?
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have a Barnes and Noble where you at?
Yes.
Yeah, you can go to Barnes and Noble. They got many different Bibles. They actually have this Bible, which is a really good one, the King James Study Bible. All right, this is
Okay.
a solid one. Or you could go on Amazon.
I do have a bunch of King James version.
Okay, well that's great. That's great. Or you could go on Amazon and get a 1611 KJV. That would be another one. Or you could simply download it on your phone, the 1611 King James Bible.
And then do you guys not have one where it's just using his real name? Is that a thing?
Nah, so with the names, they took the names out, due to just translations and things of that nature. So in 1611, you would have the name Jesus, right? And that would actually go back to Yahweh Shah, the proper name. So Jesus would be Greek for Yahweh Shah, which means he saves, he delivers, he is salvation. So coming around the 1600s, 1700s, you would have the name Jesus placed into the Bible, and you would also have the Apocrypha took out of the Bible. So 14 books that were important to the Bible, they were took out, and that's where you would get the Protestant Bible, which is just 66 books. So you would get those new names, and you would get certain books took out.
Yeah. Because I have this other Bible where it uses, or not, well, yeah, it uses the Yahuwah's name and the Yahusha's name.
Yeah, you talking
And
about the Sefer?
no, not that one. There's another one. This ministry, they have the 37 Apocrypha books in it as well.
Yeah, that's already going off because it's not 37 Apocrypha books. It's only 14.
There's only 14.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
There's
Why?
only 80 books in all.
What are the 14 books?
So the 14 books would be you have First Esdras, Second Esdras,
Mm-hmm.
Judith, additions to Esther, Wisdom of Solomon, Ecclesiasticus, Bel and the Dragon. You would
Mm-hmm.
have First Maccabees, Second Maccabees, and what else?
Susanna,
Yeah, Susanna, exactly.
Baruch,
Baruch,
Prayer of
Prayer of
Azariah.
Manasseh, exactly. Yep. So if you download the 1611 King James Bible, then you'll see it only have those books on there. It only have 80 books, the proper books. It won't have all those 37 apocryphal books that people have, because the Enoch, the Jasher, the Jubilee, the Thomas, the Adam and Eve, all that is what you call pseudepigrapha, which is it means that it's falsely attributed to an author that did not write it.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, pseudo means false. Epigrapher literally
Yeah,
means
I know.
false writings.
Yeah, like pseudoscience. I've heard of that term before. Wait, that so Enoch is like a now real person?
The book of Enoch contradicts the Bible multiple times. Enoch is a real person. There is a real book of Enoch, but it's not the one that we have today. That one has been what's I'm looking for. It's been doctored. It's false.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, because this one it has like the book of Adam, the first and second, and Enoch. And
Yeah, those are all fake. Look up when they were created. It'll tell you.
Yeah, the Book of Enoch was created around, I believe, 200 BC. And if you know timeline, Enoch lived thousands of years before that, and he was took by the Most High, which means translated, took into the heavens. So he did not actually leave a physical copy of anything that he wrote down. Now he was a prophet, but he did not write a book. Well, if he did write a book, we don't have access to it.
okay.
Well, actually, there is. It does mention the book of Enoch in the Bible, but like I said, it's not the same one as what we have today. And the whole premise of it with the fallen angels and all that stuff, all that's false.
Wait, so there's no fallen angels?
Nope.
No.
So then, like how? Wait, oh my gosh, there's so many. So then,
Yeah,
how
let's
did?
let's go to Genesis. I'm gonna go to Genesis, the 6th chapter, real quick, and touch on that.
Okay.
So this is Genesis 6, and I'll start at the top. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. Now, this is talking about men that come from Adam, not the sons of God. Now, the sons of God would be considered Seth's bloodline, all right, the chosen bloodline, the chosen lineage. Verse 2, that the sons of God, the sons of Yahweh, saw the daughters of men. So this would mean Seth's bloodline. All right. Nakaf, if you could you give me Genesis 4 at the end where they called upon Yahweh? That the sons of power saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And Yahweh said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. Now, when it says giants, it just simply means men of renown, men of great status. It does not mean 2 mile high giants or nothing like that. So it's basically talking about the sons of Seth that, as the brother's about to read, they called on the name of Yahweh, and they started to deal with the line of people that were not chosen. They was just sons of men. If you could read that, Genesis.
God, it's the book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 26.
I guess. Okay.
Now, and to Seth, to him also there were born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began man to call upon the name of Yahweh.
Khan. So those men called upon the name of Yahweh. All right, and as the brother stated, those would be who you call the Israelites today, the sons of the power, right? The princes of the power. So that same lineage is more so that chosen line is here today as well. And that would be the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, who you see on this chart. So those sons of God are here today. And then those sons of men would simply be the heathen nations, such as the Chinese, the Japanese, the Hamites, which is the
East Indian.
Africans, East Indians, Syrians, Assyrians, right? Any other nation that's not an Israelite, right? And then you would also have the sons of wicked, which would be your YT man, right? Because he goes back to Cain, or more so, Esau as well. But that's a whole nother topic. We're not going to touch on reincarnation, but understanding that these lineages, these lines are back on the earth today.
Hey, I got some precepts to add to that to further prove that the sons of God is talking about the sons of Adam. I don't have my other phone to be able to pull it up, and when I leave the app, it'll mute me. So if a brother Nakash could pull up Luke chapter 3, and then Baruch the 3rd chapter as well.
Now, I'll get the Luke 3. You get the
I'm at the plantation.
Because I don't got my apocrypha.
Okay, I'm at the plantation right now too, so I'm gonna be quiet most of the live. But Luke the 3rd chapter.
You said in Baruch what?
Baruch chapter 3, and read verses 24 to 27. It tells you who the giants are. It tells you that the giants were pretty much became the Israelites. Okay.
Let me know when you're ready for the Baruch. I don't know if you want which one you want first.
What you want to
get Luke chapter 3 first. Read the last verse. The last verse of Luke chapter 3.
Luke 3 and 38. Which was the son of Enos? Which was the son of Seth? Which was the son of Adam? Which was the son of God?
Right, so the reason I had him read that, when you read Luke the 3rd chapter, all right, it goes into the lineage of who the one they ignorantly called Jesus, the one the world ignorantly calls Jesus, Yahushua, and his lineage is the lineage of the sons of God. So that's why I had him read that, because that lineage goes back to the sons of Adam. Now, when you read Baruch the 3rd chapter, all right, starting at verse 24 on down to 26, it tells you that those Israelites, that they were the giants. Okay, those were the so-called Nephilim that people are talking about. They started off, the sons of Adam that had relations with the daughters of men, non-Israelite nations. The Israelites didn't exist back then at that time, but they later on became the Israelites. All right, and those were the Nephilim. Those were the giants that it's talking about. Go ahead and get Baruch 3 and read verses 24 down to 26.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 24. O Israel, how great is the house of power, and how large is the place of his possession. Great and hath none end, high and unmeasurable. They were the giants famous from the beginning, that were of so great stature and so expert in war.
Right. So it says these were the giants from the beginning, okay, that were so great, expert in war, great stature, etc., etc. And then it tells you about their fall. Read on down to verse 28.
Verse 27. Those did not Yahweh choose, neither gave he the way of knowledge unto them, but they were destroyed because they had no wisdom and perished through their own foolishness. Right.
So that's the fall that it's talking about. It's the sons of Adam, which the sons of Adam later on became the Israelites. Okay, because that's like I said, you read the lineage of Yahushua, it goes all the way back down to Adam. All right. So that's what it's talking. When it's talking about giants, it ain't talking about literal, like the book of Enoch says, you had 1,000-foot men that slept with women that were like 5'4". No, that's all Christian mythology. All right. It's talking about men that were expert in war. They were giants in reputation. That's what it's talking about.
Okay. So what are we to expect in like the book of Revelation, I guess? Like, is he coming back for the people that are on the list that's in the 12 tribes and stuff like that only?
So we can read you all the precepts. The book of Revelation. Oh, so like I ain't gonna cut you off.
Now you got it out.
The book of Revelation pretty much is just a retelling of the events that are spoken of in Isaiah through Malachi, which is known of as the prophets. That's where you get the
Uh-huh.
gospel from. The gospel is based off the prophecies.
Uh-huh.
So, yes, essentially, the one that they call Jesus, Yahushua, when he returns, he's only going to gather the 12 tribes, which you can read out of the prophecies. And then it tells you what's going to happen to the non-Israelite nations. But here's what's known of as the mystery of the Gentiles is that the Israelites were scattered into the different nations of the earth, the different countries. So you are going to have Israelites that look like, other nations. You have Israelites that look so-called Chinese or so-called East Indian, so-called
Mm-hmm.
Arab, so-called Caucasian. But they're all Israelites. All those who get
Oh.
delivered, they all go back. They all descend from Jacob on their father's side.
I'm gonna
So,
get this for you. I'm gonna get this Revelation 7 and verse 9. And it says, "And after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and peoples and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, Yahushua, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands." Now those white robes are signifying purity, cleansed. And these individuals coming from all nations with different tongues, etc., these are all Israelites, right? Gathered from all over the earth. As we were speaking earlier, and I'm saying, the elder also said that it's Israelites in China, it's Israelites in Japan, Australia, Russia, etc. So they will be gathered if they are righteous, in a sense. If they are wicked, then they will be, actually thrown into the lake of fire.
okay. And now my question is, how do you know you're going to be chosen? Or
Romans 8 and 14.
Romans 8 and 14?
Yeah, if a brother could pull it up, it might be verse 16. It tells you that the Spirit beareth witness. Another brother could get Isaiah 59 and 21.
I
All
get
right, it
Romans
tells
8,
you that the
16.
Spirit bears witness. Okay, all right, go ahead.
The spirit, right? That's it. The spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of power.
Right, so essentially, if you're an Israelite, all right, you're gonna have an affinity towards the Bible that other people are not able to have because it's all a gift. Like you read Hebrews 4 and 2, it says the gospel was preached unto them, just like it was preached unto us, but it did not profit them, not being mixed with the gift of faith. So if you're an Israelite, and specifically an Israelite of the elect, because he's not going to deliver all Israelites, only the remnant. If you're an Israelite of the elect, you're going to be drawn towards the word. You're going to understand prophecy, and you're gonna have the Spirit is going to bear witness that you're an Israelite. All right.
Wait, okay. Wait, you just said Hebrew 4:2.
Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 2. Yeah.
Wait, why?
Why did I say that?
Yeah.
Because what I was showing you is that everybody's not given the gift of faith. Everybody can hear and the Bible being preached. Everybody can read it, but most people are not going to understand it. Most people are not going to really care about what's in it. They don't care. They don't actually believe it.
Wait, can
But if
I share? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Can I share why that's like I'm literally shaking right now because when I was at church one time and we were discussing about the book of Hebrews and we had stopped at chapter 3, but then I was like, why don't we keep reading to chapter 4? Like, I think it's important. And nobody really, I don't know, nobody really cared and understood why I wanted to read chapter 4. But I was like, this is important to read this. Because, yeah, I don't know. I literally started reading the book of Hebrew chapter 4 again last night because I was reminded of that time that I had shared about. Because do you guys practice the Shabbat or the Sabbath? I don't know how you guys say it or not.
Yeah, the
yeah,
Shabbat,
Shabbat,
it's actually tonight.
we do.
We practice it.
Dude, okay. I just saw another video this morning talking about the guy is talking about how to how to find out the true Shabbat because it's not just every Friday sundown to Saturday sundown because of yeah.
It goes based off of the new moon, which we follow the Sabbath based off because back then they didn't use a Gregorian calendar or a
Yeah.
Julian calendar. Back then they told time based off the moon. When the new moon comes in, when it's completely dark, that's the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. That's the first day of the month. That's how you're able to tell when the seventh day of the month is going to be, which is
Yeah,
the Sabbath.
that's what the guy said. He said this year it's Monday sundown to Tuesday sundown, and then it changes every spring equinox. Is that right?
It changes every month, actually.
Every
It
month.
changes every
Con.
month.
Yeah,
According to the new moon, that's Psalms
it
81
changes
and
every month.
3.
So how? So it will change again next month, like in November.
Yes, it'll be on Wednesday.
Yes, but right,
Okay.
right.
Wait, I'm
We'll
so.
we'll look. We'll give you a thorough breakdown on that. Right after we finish this
Yeah.
salvation part, we'll go
Okay.
into that.
Okay. Okay.
Who
So
got that? The
Nakaf, you
brother
want to?
Abaniah the elder put up. He got Deuteronomy 29:29. Get the first one though. Isaiah 59:21 first though.
Con, you want me to grab that? Isaiah 59:21?
Yeah, Con, bring that out. Yeah, just to show the Spirit bearing witness, because the Heavenly Father made a special covenant with the seed of Jacob in particular. Like I said, to where like a Edomite or one of another nation is not gonna. They're not gonna be drawn towards the Bible, and they're not gonna understand it the way that an Israelite would. So, go ahead and bring that out.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 59, verse 21. As for me, this is my covenant with them, saith Yahweh. My spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth, shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of
Keep going. Yeah.
nor out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, saith Yahweh, from henceforth and forever.
So that's one of the ways that you would know, because even though we had the 12 tribes chart, and according to prophecy, most of the Israelites would be on this side of the world and would come from these lands, and primarily in America. But like I said, you have Israelites that are scattered. So we don't go based on, we don't just look at somebody and say, okay, you're of another nation. We preach the word to them, and if you're of the elect, when the word is preached unto you, it's going to activate you. You're going to believe in it, because once again, Hebrews 4:2, it talks about being given the gift of faith. So if you're of the elect, the Heavenly Father has already predestined that you're going to receive that gift of faith. So when you hear the word, it's like it's going to activate you, like a spider bite, like in Spider-Man. When he got that spider bite, he was activated. Kind of the
Yeah.
same concept.
Can I get that
But
Deuteronomy
that's only for
29 and
Israelites, though. Like I
29?
said,
That's
fine. Yep.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29, verse 29. The secret things belong unto Yahweh our power, but those things which are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law.
That's right. Yep. So the secret things, which is pretty much the understanding of the scriptures, because it's in a mystery, and the mystery is revealed according to the prophecies. All right. It tells Apostle Paul said that in Romans 16, verses 25 on down. He said that the mystery of the gospel that is preached is according to the scriptures of the prophets. So that mystery is revealed unto the children of Israel, so that they may do the things which are pleasing to the Most High and inherit salvation. All right. So it's a lot of things. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all predestined, But that's pretty much what it comes down to. If you're of the elect, you're going to hear the gospel, you're going to be activated, and you're going to fully convert, and pretty much separate from the world completely and prepare yourself for salvation. And you can only do that if the Heavenly Father has chosen you to do that.
oh my goodness.
Nakaf, could you give me Jeremiah 12 and 9? And I'm going to bring out this Hosea 1 and 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured or numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. Then shall the children of Judah, which would be the southern kingdom, and the children of Israel, which would be the northern kingdom, be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. Now you would be considered a speckled bird, because you don't look 100% like an Israelite, but your spirit is, in a sense, bearing witness of you possibly being an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? Which you saying that you're of Chinese descent and things of that nature, but your bloodline could possibly go back to Jacob. And you're sitting here in a humble type of situation and taking in this word, where an average Chinese, which is a Moabite, they're very proud. They're very prideful.
Yeah.
So, bro, you
Hey,
can bring out that Jeremiah 12 and
there's
9.
this.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, Salakia. No, I was just gonna say there's a scripture that actually says that Moab would be a guard unto Jacob. So pretty much
Hmm.
that you'd have Jacob, that a lot of Israelites scattered amongst Moab, which is the so-called Chinese.
Oh,
Yeah, what
wait.
it say? Yeah, a guard and a hiding place, I believe.
Okay, I literally have been reading that word, and I've been super curious what that word is, like the word Moab, because I read through the first 5 books in the past week, and I didn't understand what the word Moab means, but it was really intriguing to me.
It's just a nation. It's the today the so-called Chinese is Moab. It's just a nation of people.
Yeah.
So so basically you guys know that you are the elected then?
No, no,
No, we
no,
don't know.
No.
no,
Oh, you don't know.
no. Nobody
Nobody
knows.
knows. Nobody knows.
No, it's
Holy
a
cow.
guessing game all the way up until basically Jacob's trouble, because in Jacob's trouble, the elect shall be known.
Yep.
So in those times, it will be, spiritual powers and things of that nature. According to Isaiah 59 and 19, when the enemy
Wait.
shall come in like a flood, the standard shall be lifted. So the prophets will be known in those times. But up until that time, hey, you just gotta,
Leaning
pray.
on faith.
Yeah, on faith.
This is all faith.
Wait, hold on. Um so so you know how obviously they talk about um like the antichrist and stuff like that is gonna happen first,
Well,
right?
actually, it's multiple
So
anti-Hamashiachs. Multiple. It's not just one individual.
Okay.
It's like a Christian. Your church, right? Your old church. They would be considered anti-Hamashiach because their doctrine is anti-Yahushua. They are not actually for him. They are against him because of what they speak and what they teach. You get what I'm
Okay.
saying?
I got the
Yeah.
precept to prove it if you want me to, real quick.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get it. Um, so then we don't, do you guys think he's coming back in our lifetime? I don't know how.
110%.
110,
I would say within the next 2 years.
44%.
God. Wait,
Yeah.
so how, okay, I know that, like it says there will be signs showing that he's coming back soon, right? There's, like,
Yes.
that's true.
It's already
And
happening.
yeah, like I hear that's happening now. Do you guys think, like, I don't know, within 10 years or more or so or
Less than
less?
that. And we
Within the
believe
next
we
2
believe less
years.
than that.
2 years
We
ish?
believe, yeah,
Yeah.
around 2 years.
But hey, we just we think we speaking as a man right now, but
No,
we believe
no.
because of all the signs that's going on. As you can see, I'm sure you've seen the C hip digital ID type of stuff taking
Yeah,
place.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you
No,
can see that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that was spoke of in Revelations the 13th chapter, verse 16 to 18. That entire system has to come to play, and the infrastructure, all of that is right here. In Mexico, the digital ID is going to be mandatory February 2026. And the UK is going to be mandatory April 2026. Now, from that digital ID system, all they're going to do is implement a CHIP to put it in everybody. It's a simple change. It's a simple transition. So we can see all the signs taking place. And WW3 is on the verge.
Yeah.
AKA the third woe.
The what?
The third woe.
Third woe cometh quickly.
What is that? Third wall?
That's
The third
WW3.
woe. It's
Whoa.
Oh,
WW3.
World War III?
Yeah, woe
Yeah,
equals destruction. So that's the third destruction, which will be ultimately at the end of that war, it will be ICBM missiles launched and nations destroyed.
So is like how are we saved if you quote unquote know that you're the elect, I guess? Like how would you be
As a
saved?
brother put,
Malachi the 4th chapter.
Malachi?
and as a brother put in the script in the
Malachi 4.
comment, as a brother put in the comments earlier, you have to endure until the end. You're not saved until
Yeah.
you go into a chariot, which is a so-called UFO.
What? Wait, what do
You
you mean?
don't. You're like I said, you're leaning on faith. You're not really gonna know 100% that you're of the elect.
Yeah.
So if that's what you're looking for, an exact answer, if you're gonna know for sure that you're of the elect, you're not gonna have that. You're gonna go off the spirit, and if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing,
Is
as far as when Yahweh Shai returns.
and I've heard of like he's coming to gather, right? His elect and stuff like that. Is will he kind of like direct you to go to a certain way, or like are you just gonna? Because you know how they say like rapture in the air and whatnot. Like I know that's not happening, right? Like is
No,
that
there is
right?
no rapture.
Well,
There's no
so
rapture, yeah. Like I
so
definitely did not believe in the rapture and all that. So how?
Hold on, man.
okay. Let me say this right quick. So you do get beamed up
Mm-hmm.
into a chariot, but the term rapture, they believe that it's going to be before the great tribulation, and that's where it's false. Okay,
Yep.
Okay.
there is no pre-tribulation rapture.
Yeah.
Everybody, as a matter of fact, we can get the scriptures on that. Matthew 24 verses 29 through 31, it tells you when it's going to happen, and then Malachi 4 goes into detail on how it's going to happen. So
Okay.
whoever got brothers can read those. Real quick.
I'm
Whoever
over
got
there.
Matthew 24,
I'm
I
over
guess.
there, and I wanted to touch
Okay,
on.
go ahead
I'm
and read
gonna
out.
get 13 and 14, then I'm gonna jump up there. This is Matthew 24, 13 and
Okay.
14. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So you have to endure until the end, right? You can't go up into a pulpit and get somebody laying hands on you and be saved at that point in
Yeah.
time. That's not how it works,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And this gospel, which is the true gospel, the true understanding, which the prophets, us brothers preach and teach, the correct understanding must go forth across the entire planet. Now you can see branches of Great Millstone GMS and affiliates all over the world. So you have the voice of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai all over the world at this moment in time. So this gospel is being preached all over the planet. Now going over to verse 29, immediately after the tribulation, that tribulation is what we call Jacob's trouble. Of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Now, the powers of the heavens means kingdoms, which is nations. The stars falling down means ICBM missiles, nuclear warfare coming down to shake the heavens. Verse 30, this is happening at the same time. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man, Yahweh Shah, in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven. Those are so-called UFOs, which are chariots, with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. You got it, bro. Y'all, what's up?
Yeah, that's it. Right. So immediately after the tribulation, that's when the elect is gathered, and what we can do is we'll get Malachi 4. It kind of tells you what's going on at that time. It tells you that the fire is going to be blazing, that it's going to be burning up, and the elect are going to get beamed up into the vehicles of the angels. And then, Yeramiah, if you could grab Isaiah the 11th chapter. So that's always a favorite one to bring out, because Isaiah 11 tells you exactly who is going to be getting beamed up, and then it also tells you what happens to the other non-Israelite nations at that time. All right. So go ahead and get Malachi 4. Just read verses 1 and 2 first.
Okay. This is the book of Malachi, chapter 4, starting from verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble.
Right. Now, the reason what's going to cause that is those nuclear missiles. Right. The stars falling from out the sky. That's what it's going to look like. It's going to look like the stars are falling out of the sky. There's going to be 200 million nuclear warheads are going to drop on America, Babylon the Great, and in various parts of the earth. All right, go ahead.
And the day that cometh shall burn up, saith Yahweh of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch.
Yeah.
But unto you that fear, Salakia, but unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. And ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall.
Right, there you go. For those that fear his name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. All right, and that's the angels coming down, like we read, the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And he's going to gather up the elect, primarily from Babylon, but from all the places where they're scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And there's going to be many different countries. So that takes us over to Isaiah the 11th chapter. And Isaiah 11 tells us it gives us imagery of that, of, all the different places going to be gathered from, and it tells you exactly who's going to be gathered. So if a brother has that Isaiah 11,
You want me to start at
go ahead
11?
and pull that up and start at 10, just so you can tell who it is.
Verse 10, Isaiah 11. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious.
Now, the reason I'm having him read this is because this reveals, I mentioned earlier, the mystery of the Gentiles, okay? So it said there should be a root of Jesse. All right, Jesse is King David's father. So Yahushua, being the descendant of King David, is also a descendant of Jesse. All right, he says, to it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. And as I told you before, okay, those are the people that are going to be gathered out of the nations. They're being called Gentiles, but they're Israelites who are given over into a Gentile state of mind, because the places where we were scattered to, we fell into idolatry. If your family's from China, but you're an Israelite, and you probably do Buddhism or something like that, but these are false religious systems, okay? So that would make you a Gentile if you're a Buddhist, okay? So continuing on, I says, to it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. Go ahead and read verse 11.
And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Patros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up.
He's listing off different lands. It's like it, my bad. He's listing off different lands of where the Israelites are scattered, and he says, I'm going to gather the remnant of my people, the remnant of the Israelites, from all these different lands. And some of them, you've heard him. He heard Ethiopia, Cush. Okay, so these are, because a lot of the names of lands were changed, all right, in this time. But we know the different what those different lands represent, what they are today. But he's going to gather his people from all these different lands, from the islands of the sea. Okay, go ahead and get the next verse.
And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
Right, he said, and I think you skipped the part that said he would gather the outcasts of Israel and the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. So the people, when you read in Revelation 7 and 9, you hear about the kindreds and nations and peoples and tongues. All right, those people that it's talking about, those are the different Israelites scattered amongst the nations. And like I said, if you're in China, you probably speak Chinese. If you're in Russia, you speak Russian. These are the different languages. And as a matter of fact, we study the etymology of words very heavily. When you go into that Greek word in Revelation 7 and 9 for the Greek word for kindreds, it tells you the Greek word is phule, right? And it tells you it's talking about all of those who descend from one of the 12 tribes of Jacob, of Israel. So that right there gives you the whole blueprint of who's going to begin delivered. It's the outcasts of Israel and the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Now, when you keep reading down, it tells you what happens to the non-Israelite nations. Okay, you read verse 13, it tells you the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom will be gathered together, just like the brother brought out in Hosea 1 and 10, to be joined unto each other and become one nation. And then in verse 14, it tells you that they're going to subdue the non-Israelite nations. Go ahead and bring those scriptures out, brother.
The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines towards the west. They shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them.
Right, exactly. So that's how it's going to go down. Okay, once the southern and northern kingdom are brought back together and joined together as one nation, all right, they're going to go against their enemies, which are pretty much all the heathen nations, all the non-Israelite nations. They're going to go against them and subdue them. All right. So that's going to bring in what's called the tabernacle of David. All right. When you read in Isaiah 9 and 6, a very famous verse that a lot of people know that they quoted it, but they don't actually read what it says. It says, for unto us a son is given, a child is born, and the government shall be upon his shoulders. That government is talking about the tabernacle of David. When you read about the rulership of King David and Solomon for that 80-year period, you had the southern and northern kingdom together, and then you had all the nations that were around them being subdued. He put them into servitude where they would he give him different jobs to do in his kingdom. So that's going to be reestablished in the kingdom of heaven. That's what Yahushua is coming to reestablish. All right, and that's essentially that's the kingdom of heaven right there, because the earth is going to be governed by the Israelites and ruled over by the law. All right, so all of society, the whole planet Earth will be ruled over by Yahushua, King David, the rest of the 144,000, and that's it. So that's the kingdom of heaven right there. That's the whole movie. That's how this is going to go.
So the 144,000 is like the only um
So the 144,000 are the
uh-huh.
prophets. That's the prophets. That's like you have the elect, and then you have the elect of the elect, which is the 144,000. They're the prophets. They're like the leaders of the nation. They're like the mighty men of the nation. And then, of course, the rest of the elect, they're important as well, but they'll benefit because they'll be the ruling class of people. But the 144,000 are like I'll say it like this: if you have a military, right? If you have a military, you have the Navy, and then you have the Navy SEALs. Okay,
Mhm.
the elect would be the Navy, but the Navy SEALs would be the 144,000. They're
Well,
like the elite level class of
yeah,
the Israelites.
in the military, you got officers, right? And then you got the
Yeah.
enlisted. So the 144,000 would be that officer, that governing body, that Congress that's sitting over everybody else. Having because it's rank in the kingdom. That's what
Yeah.
many people don't understand. It's actually going to be a rank, a hierarchy in the kingdom. So the 144,000 would be above the 1/3 in a sense. But every
And
Israelite, even the lowest Israelite, is going to be greater than any Edomite at this present time.
uh-huh. So you're saying, or the 144,000 would be the tribe, the leader of the tribe, right?
That would be strictly men.
Essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
men and the leaders. Yes, the
Yeah.
prophets.
Because it talks about it in the Torah, right? In the beginning books. Or do you guys call it the Torah? I don't know.
Yeah,
What was the
yes,
question
the
again?
Torah, the Tanakh.
Yeah, because it talks about like when the Most High. Wait, what do you guys call? Because I'm not used to saying the name yet. So
Yahweh.
Yahweh, where he was like electing, or he asked Moshe or Moses to elect, right? To elect the people, the leaders, and
Just to
whatnot.
set elders over
Yeah,
Israel.
yeah, that. So they're the 144 elects.
Yeah, so a lot of those men that you read about, like all the prophets, the different judges that were raised up in the book of Judges, like Gideon, Baruch, Joshua, these are
Mm-hmm.
leaders of the nations, and they would all be of the 144,000. But of course, there's
Oh,
there's there's way more than just the guys that are written of.
Yeah.
There's
got
there's,
it.
there's
Okay, that
many,
makes sense.
right,
You have
Okay,
many prophets
right.
that
So
was never
they're all part of that elite class.
okay.
kind. You got many prophets that was never written about, that did great things. So, so I mean, and that's to the comment board, because individuals get caught up on saying you this person or you this person, and that's all fully that's fooly. That's folly. All right, just do what you're supposed to do, and pray that you make it in. Don't think that you're Isaiah or you're Ezekiel or none of that. That's some foolishness that other camps and other individuals may actually be doing.
Okay, I think I have two more questions if you guys have time.
All right, go ahead, sister.
The first question is like, obviously, I should read the word. What do you guys recommend for me to read starting like today to really?
I would say, start reading. The prophecies is the most important stuff. I would say, start reading Isaiah through Malachi. But when you're reading it, look at it from the lens of who these people are on the earth. Because if you read it and you don't know who the Israelites are or who the other nations are, then it's not going to make any sense to you. But now that you kind of understand who it's talking about, you read it, it's going to make a lot more sense, and you'll be able to see, okay, I actually see these things playing out on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say Isaiah through Malachi.
Okay.
That's what's called strong meat, but that's the reason why it tells you in when Apostle Paul when he was on that road and he came across the Ethiopian eunuch and he was reading out of Isaiah 53. The Ethiopian eunuch said, he said, "Hey, can you teach me this?" He said, "Do you understand what you're reading? How can I unless some man teach me?" So pretty much, you can read it and you may not understand what you're reading right then and there at that time, but that's why the Heavenly Father set up different leaders, because we go over these topics constantly. So you'll pick up on it more and more, as you listen to different brothers' videos and have, talks with different brothers, exhortation. And because brothers go live all the time. So I would say that though, because really the prophecies, especially with the time we're living in now, you're gonna want to know the stuff that's coming down the pipeline, but also at the same time too, really, if you're of the elect, if you're an elect woman, then you're going to be joined into an elect man, and he's going to
Exactly.
be your protector in that day. He's going to be, your Lord and your Savior, really, in that day. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not read and study and all that, and just know what's required of you. As a woman, really, your job as a woman is to be a helpmeet to the elect man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, whether you meet one in this time or after Jacob's trouble, if you're of the elect, the Heavenly Father will join you into an elect man, and you just know what your role is. And if you do what you're supposed to do, then you'll be delivered. When you read of the elect in past times, like for example, Noah was the elect of his time. Okay, Noah, he was the main one doing the work, but his wife, his 3 sons and their wives were all delivered based off of what he did, off of his work. And it's gonna be the same thing in today's time. It tells you that pretty much a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, as a shelter from the storm, as water in a desert land. Okay, so really your job, like I said, read, study, and just know what's required of you as a hopeful elect woman.
Yeah, what?
I will give you. I'm
So
writing them
you
down
can
right
get.
now, and I'm about to. You can screenshot them if you want to. I would
Okay,
tell you to
yeah,
read.
I've been screenshotting.
I would tell you to read these specific chapters.
Can you put
Sirach,
can you put it back a little bit? Okay, yeah.
and this is for all women in the comments as well. Sirach 25 and 26, really understanding a wicked woman and a righteous woman.
Okay.
All right. Proverbs 31, really understanding, the role of a woman, etc. Isaiah 3 and 4, understanding why some of our women are cursed, why their hair won't grow, eyelids, eyebrows, things of that nature. All right. 1 Timothy 2nd chapter, really starting at verse 9. Numbers 12, really understanding a woman shouldn't be going at a man. And hey, if I forgot one, then add it in the comments. I was just what came
Yeah.
to my mind quick.
Uh, Titus 2, I believe it is, and then also another really important one is 1 Peter chapter 3. 1 Peter chapter 3 is that's a very powerful one.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 Peter 3rd chapter. That's a very powerful one right there. Pretty much, clothing yourself in humility. All right, that's a big part of it. Pride is pretty much where most sin comes from. There's a scripture
Yeah.
that tells you that in Sirach the 10th chapter, and America promotes pride, for men and women, but especially women, because women have physical outer beauty. Men don't really have that advantage. So it's very easy for a woman to get caught up in, how she looks and all that kind of stuff. Have all these guys hitting her up on social media. So the same way that we got to turn away from the world, the things of the world, the woman has to do the same. And to a certain extent, okay, you're giving up. You have to give up certain benefits that you will receive in this world based off of having the beauty of a woman. Just like the man does though as well. We have to give up, being being out there in the streets or whatever it is, or, chasing after money and all that kind of stuff, to submit to the Lord. So it's really the same thing, but it starts off with humility. Those precepts that the brother gave you are really good places to start with. And then the Titus, I think it's Titus the 2nd chapter. Abaniah, he didn't put up the chapter. He put the book, but probably the whole book of Titus. Just go ahead and read the whole book. I mean, you can never read enough. So.
As far as a woman, we don't expect a woman to know, like, to be teaching or nothing like that. It comes in time to know it, but really just knowing your role and your position is really encouraged.
Okay. And the what is it again? The commandments, the 10 commandments, the Torah. Do you guys practice that too? Or
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
so how can I know
So you can read through it. You can read through it and just learn it, and that tells you how to handle different certain situations. But in the society that we live in, a lot of things it's not possible for you to keep. Which is the reason why we always tell you you're not going to be saved by keeping the law. It's still good to read it. We read it, we meditate on it, and when you have control over certain things, then most definitely by all means, do what observe and do what it says. But yeah, a lot of times you're not gonna be able to do it perfectly. But yeah, definitely, most definitely read it as well. Really, like I said, really, you can never read enough. We're just giving you
Yeah.
good starting points, and explore the wholeness of it. And if you have questions, you could hit up the brother Uramya, or any of us really.
Yeah, just come to the live. We live every day, so try to catch us. You know what I'm saying?
Um, Thank you, seriously, for all of this. I'm like, I don't know what prompted me to just get on and yeah.
It was the
And
spirit, really, because a man's goings is of Yahweh, understanding that there's no such thing as free will. So the spirit had you come on here, because
yeah.
before you came on here, I was about to go out on the streets, and shoot, you came on here and we stayed on here a little bit longer and talked. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. 'Cause I'm just sharing more about. There's just so many layers, and it's just like yesterday I met up with one of my church friends and kind of like share with them my process of like where I'm going on my own path now because it's just a lot for me to just step away from my church, obviously, because I really got involved and everybody's like wondering where I'm at and stuff like that. So it's just like I feel like now I'm so scared to just talk to anybody because or share anything because I don't know what's like the truth is, and I feel like learning what you guys have all shared. And
So,
what does that mean? Like some guy saying I'm a Jake. What does that mean? What is that?
Saying what?
Like somebody is saying she is a Jake.
Oh,
who said that?
the brothers, they believe that you're an Israelite, just based upon your
Yeah,
spirit.
yeah, you're Israelite. Could you get her Romans 8:16, please?
We read it earlier. I get it again.
Well, no, okay, yeah, get it again and back it up with Isaiah 16 and 4.
Nakaf, could you get to Isaiah?
Yep, already going there.
Romans 8 and 16.
Yeah, I'm not able to get precepts.
Okay, no,
Romans
no
8 and
sweat.
16, once again, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of power.
Right, if you wasn't an Israelite, you wouldn't be drawn to this.
Nope.
All right, that's the first thing.
Okay.
Our people scattered all over the earth and had babies with different women of different nationalities. So over the years, our people gonna look like other nations. You know, so yeah, go ahead and get
Okay.
Isaiah 16 and 4.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 16, verse 4. Let mine outcast dwell with thee, Moab. Be thou a covert to them from the face of the spoiler.
Right. So Moab today will be the Chinese, and a lot of our people are amongst the Chinese. That's why you look on TikTok videos, YouTube, you see them popping and locking and all that stuff. Those are Israelites. Yeah. Even here in America, look, I live in Chicago, and you go to Chinatown, a lot of them look Chinese, but they actually Israelites. Big old dudes and stuff. Then you're gonna cause some trouble. Those dudes gonna jump on you. These dudes big, man. Then you have celebrities like Bruce Lee. You already know who that is. Bruce Lee
Jackie Chan.
and Bolo Young, Jackie Chan. Matter of fact, Bruce Lee came to San Francisco, taught the tribe of Judah, so-called black people,
Yep. Yep.
and he hang out with them and stuff like that. And he got swagger and stuff like that.
Yep.
And everything. A lot of a lot of those old, the first, not the Shaolin Temple. A lot of those guys in the first Shaolin Temple before it got burned in 19. I think it got burned in 1928. A lot of them was Israelites.
Oh wow.
That's, yeah. And then that's why a lot of our people here, so-called blacks, they're attracted to martial arts and stuff like that, because that's in our heritage. So we doing this stuff in Israel. We was doing it in West Africa.
And also, we was doing that in China. You saw those kung fu movies flying in the air and all that stuff. Those are people, and your people too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like really big in China too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, you're Israelite sister. Just studying stuff, and just share this knowledge with people like mine and stuff like that. Because a lot of people they bugged out. They can't handle the truth. 'Cause they've been brainwashed with plantation Christianity and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, literally. I feel
Yeah.
like the more I've uncovered a layer of truth, it's like I don't shy away from it. I literally like, okay, this is the new truth now. I'm gonna follow it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
I
would
could tell you
add
when
to
I'm.
that. Be very careful on it. I got an echo. Damn.
Go ahead. I'm gonna mute my.
Kind. Be very careful on this app because you have a lot of
Yeah.
individuals that are calling on the names of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, but they're not teaching the correct doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're teaching different stuff via they may not have no elders or correct guidance and things of
Mm-hmm.
that nature. So when you build a house, you want to build that house sturdy and strong, the correct way. So I would say, if follow the brothers up on here, we go live daily, and by following us, you'll know who to deal with, because it's a lot of individuals on here that teach
Hey,
incorrectly. You got it.
hey, so yeah, through the spirit, I came across a situation yesterday. There's this woman I know, and she listens to a bunch of different Israelites, and every time she confused, she hits me up to ask me all these questions, and it's like I try to warn her, like, bro, if you just listen, if you know we got the truth, then why even mingle with dudes that are
Mm-hmm.
bugged out? So through the spirit, I made a video this morning, and entitled it "7 Ways to Identify the Prophets According to the Bible," because we can say that we're those men, but everybody's gonna say that. So what I did is I went into the scriptures, and I went thoroughly in and showed who the prophets are, what they would be doing in these times, and from that point, then it's up to it's up to really the Heavenly Father to guide you to the right men. You know what I'm saying? To guide you to the right teachers. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's very important, that gift of discernment, because like you said, there's a lot of people out there, that some that even call on the correct name, but they got a rebellious spirit on them, or whatever it is, and they
Yeah.
bugged out, and they teach, because another thing, the Bible is very harsh, so a lot of people will teach out of their emotions. They don't
Uh-huh.
like certain parts of it, so they'll try to change things to fit their emotions, and that's very dangerous. So like I said, I made a video on that earlier, so yeah, it's on my channel. It's on my channel, but
Okay. Yeah, I followed all of you guys already, so oh my goodness. This is so crazy. I guess one last question because I gotta go soon, but do you guys get water baptized or anything like that? Or
Nah.
no? No?
Let's get
Okay.
we're gonna get Matthew or whoever brothers want to get. I'm gonna get Matthew 3:11 real quick.
This is crazy because I'm literally this Saturday I was gonna go get baptized again.
No,
So
you get baptized with the word. Get that
You
scripture in
just
Matthew.
got back.
Well,
Then
yeah,
also get Matt. Then also get Jeremiah 5 verse 14.
kind of cop. You can get to Jeremiah. Yeah, what we've been doing to you this whole time is baptizing you with the word,
oh,
so you
okay.
can understand it. So this is Matthew 3:11. I indeed baptize you with water unto repentance. But he that cometh after me is mightier than I, whose shoes I am not worthy to bear. He shall baptize you with the Holy Spirit and with fire. So, the Rakakadash, which is the Holy Spirit, Rakah meaning spirit, Kadash meaning holy. We have that, it's flowing, and we brought out these precepts. We gave you this word. We baptized you with that and that fire, which is coming, flowing in our belly. So as Yahweh Shah said, I will give you living water that you can, push it out onto everybody in a sense, all that receive it. So we was giving you that living water, that understanding, that truth. You got it in the car, Jeremiah. Oh, brother probably busy or something.
I got one as well.
All right, bring it out.
Yeah, somebody had to bring it out for me because I don't got my other phone, so I can't
Con,
look
what
up.
is it? What
Every
is
time
it
I leave the
again?
app, it mutes me. So it's 1 Peter 3:21.
Con, got you.
Yeah, that one really lays it out. It shows you, and then Ephesians 5 as well. But go ahead and get 1 Peter 3.
Con. 1 Peter 3:21. And it reads, the like figure whereunto even baptism doeth also now save us, not the putting away of the filth of the flesh, but the answer of a good conscience towards power, by resurrection of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Huh.
So it says the baptism does also save us, but not the putting away of the filth of the flesh. All right, but by a good conscience, all right, towards the Most High. Now, the way that happens is through being washed by the water of the Word. All right, give me Psalms 119 and verse 9 as well. That's another good one.
You just said 1 Peter 3:21.
Yeah, yep,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. 1 Peter 3:21, and then Psalms 119 and verse 9, and then Ephesians the 5th chapter goes into it as well. But who got Psalms 119?
I got you. Psalms 119 verse 9, and it reads, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word.
Right. There you go. So that's how you get that good conscience that we read in 1 Peter 3:21, by taking heed thereto according to the word. So brothers is put in the comment board, you're being baptized right now because you're being flooded with the word. Right, we're flooding you with the scriptures, and then that washes you. That's the which if a brother could give me Ephesians 5 right quick, and then I'll let another brother take it from there. Let me know when whoever got Ephesians 5. Let me know when you got it. Get verse 26 and 27.
You can get the
I got the
Ephesians.
Ephesians.
I got the Jeremiah.
I got it.
Go ahead.
Get Ephesians 5. Start at verse 25. Read on down to 27.
Okay. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, starting from verse 25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Hamashiach also loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word.
Right. So that's the point right there. Okay. The water, this living water, is talking about the word. All right. It's not talking about getting dunked in a pool of dirty water. You know, my bald head, pork chop eating pastor. So, I mean, you know, if you get water baptized, it's not necessarily wicked, but it's kind of the thing about it is that everything that was physical, the Most High turned spiritual. For example, you know, the water baptism. All right, the true baptism is being baptized in the Spirit, which comes from the Word. And then also another example of that is the eating of communion. When you go to church, every first Sunday, some churches they have that communion where they eat the little piece of bread and drink the wine.
Yeah.
All right, when Yahushua said to eat my flesh and drink my blood, he was really talking about digest the scriptures, because Yahushua is the Word incarnated in the flesh. So he was telling them to eat on the scriptures. He didn't. I mean, like I said, you can take communion. It's not necessarily wicked, but you're missing the spiritual point behind it. It's the same thing with baptism, and that's where a lot of people get tripped up. Same even with fringes. Now we wear fringes, but when you read about the fringes, it talks about the whole purpose of it is for you to remember the commandments. So the commandment's supposed to be in your spirit. Okay, circumcision. You have the circumcision of the flesh, but even in the law, it tells you that the true circumcision is the circumcision of the heart. So all these things they're just physical symbols of something greater, which is in the spiritual. So that's all I got, brothers. Go ahead.
Khan, this is Jeremiah 5:14. Wherefore thus saith Yahweh, power of hosts, because you speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. So once again, baptized with that fire as well, the fire of these words. When it means it will devour them, it brings to mind Hebrews 4:12, where this word is much sharper than any two-edged sword. So if you had a wicked spirit in a sense, the word is going to cut you. Like some of our people, they don't want to give up pork, lobster, crab, shrimp, shellfish. They don't want to call on the name of Yahweh or Yahweh Shah. They want to constantly call on Jesus or Yahuwah. They want to they want to believe that all nations can be saved, things of that nature. So they don't want to come into this truth properly and correctly. So the word will devour them. It cuts them up. It makes them feel a certain way. And this is where you got all these individuals that hate Israelites, which I'm sure you might have seen some videos on that.
Hey, you mean to tell me I can't celebrate Christmas, brother?
Yeah,
So
You could
yeah,
do it, but it ain't righteous.
Hey, but on the right hand side, when we get burned with the fire, which is His word, we're gonna get convicted. Then we're gonna correct ourselves and stuff. You know.
It purifies. It purifies you. You know.
Yep.
yeah. No, I definitely don't like eat. Cause okay, do you guys celebrate the feast of
Tabernacles.
yeah, things like yeah, the holy days, I guess, the holy
Yes.
holidays. So
Holy days, yes. We do all the holy days.
okay, I literally just learned about all that. So I did my best to participate in it and like put on the tent and all that stuff too. And yeah, I think the more because okay, I feel like there's so much for me to share and say, but it literally started like September of this year, like where I started learning more about the feast and everything and like keeping the laws and stuff like that. And as you guys are like sharing about how this is like the baptism of the word and like stuff like that, I've been feeling tingles the whole time. Like it's really crazy. So
That's
I'm
great. That's
I'm
great.
just grateful. Thank you for like staying on this live and sharing your word, sharing what you know with me, so then I can learn because yeah, obviously I feel like there's just so much that I don't know, and I think it's me continue to ask him for the truth that I think he's showing me what it is. Okay, that's all.
Yeah. Well, hey, just keep on studying. You know, just focus on your role. We all have our place in the body. You know, your role pretty much, is to prepare yourself to be joined unto a hopeful elect man. You know, unto an elect man in that day.
And we was all, trust me, we was all at that position, once upon our time in our life when we was seeking this word and when we first got it, and it felt like that. It just it's gonna feel like the greatest thing ever because it is, because you're really what you're getting right now is like an invitation to the wedding, and I would encourage you not to lose that invitation. Just keep that invitation safe and sound with you so you can make it into the wedding chamber. You know what I'm saying? So it's take this thing serious, which I believe you're gonna do. And come to the lives, learn, take notes. We encourage every individual to take notes, and grow. Get that milk like a newborn baby just came out. Get that milk every chance you can, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
You got any more questions, sister?
No, I think I'm good. Just gonna start reading the recommended. Yeah. And you said you guys go live every day. Is it like a set time?
Nah, not really. I just
Pretty
go
much.
live whenever the spirit go, but the elder be live whenever the spirit really moves. Just
Oh, one
whenever
more
really.
thing. Do not give anybody no money. Period.
Yeah, hell
Do not
no.
repeat it again.
Yeah, that's
Do not give nobody
Nobody,
on
no
this
money.
app or any other app no money.
Uh-huh.
All right.
What about like
good advice.
what about the unhoused people? Like the homeless, I guess I call them unhoused, but
I mean that's
Well,
your personal choice, but he's talking about ministry wise because
oh.
really the scriptures tell you it says buy the truth and sell it not. So the truth is for free. Isaiah 55 also tells you come to the waters and buy wine and milk without money and without price. So if anybody's trying to sell you something, you already know they've false prophet.
Yeah,
That's a big sign right there.
and you have a lot of individuals on here with cash apps in their bios, Venmos in their bios, things of that nature. They they make you pay for a subscription and all of that. No, the word is supposed to be free. Okay,
Yeah.
that's how it was, And with the homeless thing, that is your personal choice. The scripture also states, know to who you give money to, know to who you give to. And it also says, do not give to a sinner, but give to a godly individual. So keep
Yep.
that in mind. That's important. You got it, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Yahushua said, he said, freely have you received, freely give. So if you see, hit the Cash App family, super chats. Yeah, you already know they ain't in the right spirit, man.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you guys said because I have the KJV Bible version already. I don't need to buy any other
I would
Bible, right?
recommend you
Get your
download.
1611 with the apocrypha.
Yeah, you can download or you can buy it. It's greater to buy it because you'll have it physical. But you can also, you can download the 1611 King James Bible. All right, or you could just simply download the Apocrypha app, which has the books as well. But if you could purchase a physical
Can I ask
1611,
why?
go ahead.
Can I ask why the KJV version out of every other one?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, you got it, bro. You break it down.
Okay. I was gonna say the KJV is what you have a word for word versus a thought for thought. All right, a KJV is more close to a word for word translation versus the other versions are a thought for thought translation. So they take pretty much from the KJV and then translate into what they think that it means. Now the problem with that is that the people who translated, they didn't understand prophecy, so they left out key parts. And now for a perfect example of that, there's a scripture, Hosea 6, I believe it is, Hosea 6:3. It says, after the third day shall the Lord raise us up. Now, when you read that in the King James Version, that's what it says. When you read it in a different translation, it says, after a short time shall he raise us up. So they didn't understand the significance of the third day, so they removed it because they don't get prophecy. So the King James Version is more of a pure version in that aspect. And when you're reading prophecy and you're connecting the dots, because it's all but one big puzzle. When you're connecting the dots and you're putting the puzzle pieces together, the other versions leave out a lot of key words that you need to be able to connect the dots. Okay, now with like an NLT or something like that, we'll use those translations when we're teaching and we're bringing out basic concepts because sometimes it's easier to understand, the old English. But when it comes to like doing deep study, a 1611 KJV is definitely 110%, 144% the better option, the best option, I would say.
Yeah, that's
I would suggest also. I'm tripping. I should have been said this. Get the Blue Letter Bible. It's an app. You should be able to download Blue Letter Bible. It's an app. It's free. Download it. And matter of fact, hey, Spirit Moving. I'll probably tomorrow. I'll go into how to use the Blue Letter. We done touched on it before, but I'll do a refresher, right? And because the Blue Letter has the Strong's Concordance attached to it. It has outline biblical usage. It has certain references, and it has dictionaries and things of that nature attached to it, where you can further study better and in depth with the Blue Letter, and it has all these different translations as well. So Blue Letter Bible.
Yeah, that's actually the first. Yeah, that was like the first app I was recommended when I got curious about everything. So
Okay.
Yep. And also, a lot of times, which I'm man, I wish I could pull it up on my phone, but every time I leave the app, it mutes me. But when the Bible was translated, a lot of words are purposefully changed to make the meaning of the word ambiguous, so that a narrative could be pushed. But when you go in and you study the Hebrew and the Greek words, the original words and the outline of biblical usage, the definition of them, etymology, then you get a greater understanding to where you're able to break down codes other people are not able to get. that's a lot of the times when people, for example, like everything I read to you, we brought out the prophecies on who the Lord is going to deliver out of Isaiah 11 chapter. All right. So if you don't understand and you don't go on to break down words, then that would contradict John 3:16, because John 3:16 says, "For God so loved the world." Right. But then when you read prophecy, it tells you that he's only coming to save the Israelites. Well, how do you connect the two? You have to go into the Hebrew and the Greek words. If you go into the Greek word for world, it's cosmos, which means a government or an orderly arrangement. So literally it's saying, if you break it down and translate it correctly, it's saying, for God so loved the government of Israel. Okay, the ruler, the kingdom. And the only way that that the Israelites would be able to obtain that kingdom of heaven later on down the line, which is what we're getting ready to enter into, is if Yahushua came and made that sacrifice for the nation. All right, and see, that's so what happens is people will try to debate with us. All right, and we already know that they haven't went into the definitions of the words, because what they're trying to say goes against prophecy. The whole Bible, the Old Testament, New Testament, and Apocrypha, it all agrees with each other. So what Christians will try to do when we read prophecy, they'll try to find a scripture to misinterpret, such as like Galatians 3:28. That's another one. It says it's neither Jew nor Greek, et cetera, but they don't understand history. They don't understand they don't go into the etymology of the words. So that's why that blue letter is so important, because you're able to go do deeper research on the meanings of these words. If something seems to contradict, a lot of times that's the reason why. It was purposely translated in a way to make the meaning of it ambiguous, to cause confusion. So.
Okay, last question before I gotta go. I can get a 1611, I think, easily. Is the Apocrypha also on Amazon? Like, how would I know which?
So the
The
1611
1611 usually.
Yeah.
Oh, it includes in it. Okay.
Right.
Yes.
Wait,
yes.
yeah. Okay, I did see that before. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay,
1611
everyone.
includes it.
Thank you so much.
I did want to touch
Gotcha.
on
Okay.
there is a Bible that has the Proto-Hebrew names in it as well.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, can you pull it up for her, if you remember
I
what
ain't
it
got my
is?
other phone right now.
Okay, all good.
But
Yeah,
I'll
I
put it
can't
in
pull
my
anything up
story.
either.
Or if you want to put it in your story, you can put it in your story.
Con.
But hey, the water sister for coming
I
through,
probably,
and being respectful and taking notes, man. We tell a lot of these guys to take notes and they don't. But you was on here taking notes, and that shows that you got the effort and
Yeah,
you
I
serious.
was screenshotting and
Yeah, you sincere.
yeah.
So
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone.
all right, Shalawam. That means peace
Yep.
be unto
All
you.
right. Talk to
One,
y'all
my friend.
soon. Thank you. Thank you.
Shalom.
Shalawam. Drop it down.
Hey, Romeo.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
I'm
Shalawam.
off from the plantation about 2 hours. If you want to go live again, I'm at the plantation the whole time.
We could hit one up in like.
I said,
Give me. Dang, can we do 3? Give me 3 hours. 8 my time, 9 your time. Well, no, you know what? Let's do it.
Okay,
7 my
that'll
time,
do.
8 your time. It's all good.
Well, I don't. I get off at 8, so 9 works. An hour.
Okay,
give me
9.
time to eat
That's
and
better for me then. Yep.
everything. That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go live again. Yeah.
Man. So,
Yeah, they got me working these strange hours. Go ahead,
I
that's
feel
lucky.
it. I feel it. Yeah. Shalom to the brother Gabriel, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Barakatah. How you doing, bro?
Shalom.
Shalom, brothers. Very exciting to see, you guys doing the work of calling up the speckled birds, drawing them together in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I'm also getting very excited that I'm doing my effort here to try and learn the names. Thank you guys so much. It was an accident to go up and request, but you can drop me down if you wish. It's just exciting.
Nah. You up here now.
No.
Hey, let me
I got
see.
that book for.
You got a question for him,
relaxing.
Nicole? Give him a question, man.
Give who a question?
Gabriel, I think it's something.
Shalom, Akim.
Shoot. What's the
Gabriel,
what's the
what?
Greek word for
Yep.
Slot?
Now you got it.
What's the Greek word for Mark?
The Greek word for Mark?
Yep.
Yeah, in Revelations 13 and 16. What does that mark mean? What does it mean?
Yeah, what does it mean?
Dev, man, mute Dev.
Mute him.
What's wrong with this? Man, mute, relax, move. What's up with y'all? Y'all some cheaters.
I don't know, and I can't look it up.
Hey, that's your pato. Because you admitted that you didn't know. That's fine. It's charagma.
Charagma?
Make sure, yes, commit that to memory.
Charagma.
Charagma. And the root word would be karax.
Yep.
And it basically means to insert, to pierce the skin. That's how we know that the mark is gonna be inserted. They're gonna have to make an incision, and then they'll insert it in your body. So it's not spiritual. It's not white women. It's not Christianity. No, the charagma.
It's not a belief, right?
Yeah,
it's not a belief. It is actually physical.
Yeah. So it's a mark of servitude. Exactly.
Is that in a reference like to a branding? No, it's different, right? Because you said it goes inside, so it's like a.
I mean, but it is in a sense a branding, because it's a mark of the beast system.
Okay.
Hey, who's on the blue letter right now? Who can pull it up?
Shoot,
if anybody can pull it up, go into the number of his name and go ahead and get a chai psi stigma.
Oh yeah,
chai psi stigma.
Yeah, chai psi stigma. Yeah.
Yeah, that's important. That's important, because what he mentioned about it being a branding, all right, literally the number of his name and the mark itself go hand in hand. If you take the mark, then you've also taken the number of his name, and we're gonna go into the breakdown on that right quick. A lot of people don't know how to break it down correctly. So let me know when you got the blue letter pulled up.
Shalawam. I'm here to assist you guys. Somebody don't believe the mark of the beast is the RFID chip or the Neuralink?
We just
no, it's all good. He believes.
Yeah, Kanye.
Oh, all right then, man. Because I was about to step up. I was like, who's saying that?
He's jumping up like where you from, cuz?
I know, man.
No, for real though, man. Like I'm not a part of the Great Millstone camp, but there's brothers outside of Great Millstone who do believe the mark of the beast, the RFID chip. Me and some of the brothers in my camp and Shield of Wisdom, we believe in it too, that it is the RFID micro chip and Neuralink.
Anybody who teaching differently, it's like in my band.
And I argue this with brothers from other camps. Generally speaking, I let them know. Fuck around and find out, because when it comes down to it, what really controls what's going on in the earth is economics.
Yeah. Hey, well, anybody who's arguing, I was gonna say anybody who's arguing against it is pretty much very spiritually blind, especially this late in the game, bro. Like, it's very obvious where things are headed. Everything's going digital. People in other countries already got the damn chip. They already implanting themselves, man. So if you still trying to say the mark of the beast is sin or some other BS. You threw out here, man. All right, but hey, you probably.
For real though, I thought Yaramia had to deal with somebody up on here. I was like, who the fuck is saying that?
Yeah, man. Hey, well, it's probably okay. Cool. Get the last verse.
You okay, Yaramia? Salakiak. I just.
Hey, yeah, it's all good. Hey, get the blue letter. Get where it says the number of his name is 666, and go ahead and go into that word. It should say chai psi stigma.
My bad, y'all. I had to step out.
Okay.
No, you there, Yaramia?
No, I was out the room.
No, I would say Salakiak. Only reason why I stepped up because I thought you had to battle somebody up on here, because I was like, don't let me get started. Who's coming up on here with that, talking about his, the mark of this beast is spiritual? Because I'll get on his ass. You know what I'm saying?
It's all good. It's all good. At the end of the day, if Jake can't get it, they say if a ninja can't get it, we moving on, man. All right, but yeah, get that chai side stigma right quick, Baba Kasha.
I'm there.
Okay, so when you go the root word of that, show it on the
Yep.
screen. It says the root word should be stigma.
Yep.
Yeah, so click on that, and then you go to the outline of biblical usage. It gives you a definition of what that number of his name is. It's like almost like you could say, like the brother said, a branding or a barcode, a serial
Yep.
code. You know, it's pretty much a mark of ownership. All right. Let me know when you got it pulled up, and go ahead and read the outline of
Yep.
biblical usage.
It's the outline biblical usage of stigma, a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belonged to. And there were some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That's literally the number of his name. All right. That number 666. That's pretty much what it represents. You know, a mark. When you go into the root word of it, all right, it goes into a mark of ownership. And as a matter of fact, I believe when you go even deeper into that root word stizo for stigma, it even
Yep,
tells you.
stickle.
Yeah, go ahead and bring that out and read that
It
one as
says
well.
stigma from primary stizo to stick, i.e. prick.
Right, to stick or prick. So he's telling you, all right, but when you connect the dots, it's showing you that this, if you get sticked or pricked, all right, which would be by the way of a syringe, they're gonna put it in your hand or implant it in your forehead, all right, that you are now pretty much pledging allegiance to the beast, all right, that you are property of Esau, all right, that's what it means, and so it's physical. Another way that you know it's physical, if brother could give me Revelation 16 and verse 2.
Yep. Revelation 16 and 2.
Yep.
Grab it.
Yep. And the
Oh, you got it.
first
If you already got it. Yep.
and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a newsome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image.
Right, so you get a noisome and grievous sore. When you go into that Greek word for sore, I forgot exactly what it is, but it
It's
tells you that
Helkos.
Helkos. That's right. It tells you that it's an ulcer producing pus. Okay, why would sin cause you to get an ulcer? All right, most likely it's going to be at the insertion site. You know, from radiation or whatever. You know, wherever you take that chip, they implant it inside of you. It's probably gonna it's gonna burst into an ulcer.
So here's
You can also go.
here's the thing. No, Salakia. Here's the thing. When they say the mark of the beast, when you see some of these other Israelite clowns say the mark of the beast is sin, run with it. You just got to ask them what type of sin it is. The problem is that they're right when they say it is sin. However, ask them what type of sin is it, because you got to come at them and you got to combat them with this. So you telling me if I take my brother's wife, right, and I commit adultery by getting with her, and we on a conveyor belt checking out some items, and I commit adultery, that's the type of sin that I'm able to buy and sell with? Or if I take an innocent man and slice his throat, I'm able to buy or sell with that? That's the mark of the beast y'all talking about? If it is the type of sin, it has to do with bribery. Not only does it have to do with bribery, it's a gift that destroys the heart. That's the only type of sin. It has to do with money. For instance, a prime example was Judas Iscariot, 30 pieces of silver, or the chief priests and the elders. And when they said, we had no king but Caesar, the only reason why they said that was because they were provided with resources regarding economics. It had to do with money. So when it comes to buying and selling that part, and then when it comes to Neuralink, the RFID chip, that all ties into that. Not all that other stuff when they talk about, you got to ask them what type of sin, So
yeah. Well, at the end of the day, you break it down correctly. If they can't get it, then that's because the Most High has spiritually blinded them, and that's what it is. You can break things down so simple that a toddler can get it, and the Most High, if He don't want them to get it, they ain't gonna get it, because there's literally angels pulling the understanding out of their brain as you're putting it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah the 6th chapter goes into that. And it says they're going to be blinded until the destruction comes. And so that's just their lot. You can't really control that. But I get what you're saying. And
No, think about it. Think about it. Before it
Let
talks
him
about
finish.
oh no, I thought you was finished.
He wasn't finished.
good. I was just going to say.
Yeah, all right then. Go ahead.
You good, bro? You good? No worries. No worries. But I was just going to say, at the end of the day, either they're going to get it or they're not. And if that's the case, there's nothing you can really do to change that. That's why we kind of don't really get into that debate spirit because with the debates, I mean, sometimes it happens impromptu, but with the debates, it's not fruitful because whatever side you came on, you're most likely going to stay on that side. No matter how many facts are presented, it's the Most High that's got you in that spirit. Only reason why, even with impromptu, we might do an impromptu debate, you could say, is because there's people that are listening that are on the fence, and we're presenting the case so that they can get the correct understanding. And then at that point, it's up to the Heavenly Father if they're going to accept it or not, which side they're going to be on. But
With the most of the people that say that the mark of the beast is not the Ark-fighting chip, most of them don't pay attention to geopolitical politics and what goes on regarding Esau's government. The beast itself is Esau.
the prophecy
Go
period.
ahead. Huh?
They don't. Most people that do that, they don't go into prophecy period.
They don't really go into they go into prophecy, but they don't go thoroughly through the prophecies to understand that beast is Esau, Edom, the Roman Empire, the UN, all of that. They don't really go into that. But when it comes down to it, before the beast gives out the charagma, the mark, what people need to understand is that the worshiping of the image of the beast is first. Worshiping the beast in the image is first. And then after that comes the mark. That mark that's given to those who's worshiping the image of the beast is basically a gift. And that gift is what destroys judgment. That's why the Bible says in Ecclesiastes 7:7, surely oppression and maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. What better way to try to get our people to worship the image of the beast and to receive its mark than to give them something so they won't turn to the Most High? That's one of the biggest reasons why and agendas why Esau is doing it, because we get our people to turn to Yahweh Ba'Shem Mashiach Yahushai, all of our people, even the most intelligent ones out of us. What type of what can they do? You know what I'm saying? So when it really comes down to it, it's a Faustian covenant when that mark of the beast is pushed. Do y'all know what a Faustian covenant is? I explained it before. Do y'all know what it is?
Go ahead and break it down.
A Faustian covenant, basically, it goes back to this Germanic lore called Faustian. All right, you can look them up. Basically, it's about this individual named Faustian. Can you guys hear me? Yoramia, can you hear me? You ain't having echo in your background.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We hear you loud and clear.
All right. A Faustian bargain is a deal where a person sacrifices soul. All right. Values or self or immediate, often materialistic gains like knowledge, power, wealth, all of that, because all of that stuff comes with what's going on regarding this beast system. All right. So basically, in this dramatic story, is a deal with the devil or a Faustian bargain, and that's where most of your movies come from. Like, if you ever watched that movie where they made deals with the devil, or you remember that movie Bedazzled with Brandon Fraser?
I ain't seen that movie before.
Yeah, he makes a deal with this female was with this female that was basically playing the devil. She had a British accent. But it's basically about they made the deal with the devil. Basically, it goes back to a person named Faustian, and this man named Faustian, basically he made a bargain with this figure named Mephistopheles. All right, and then basically he wanted to rule. He wanted to have wealth unimaginable. He wanted to have worldly possessions, everything, right? And all of that stuff was given to him. And at the end, his soul was the one that was traded. And so at the end, after all his wealth, all the stuff that he had was given to him, it wasn't there to last. So he was destroyed. his soul was taken by the devil. That's what a Faustian deal is, a Faustian covenant. So when you ever heard that term, the deal of the devil, basically that's what it is when you get these clowns receiving the mark of the beast, which is the charagma, the RFID chip, and the Neuralink. You know, and what we're seeing and what's going on in society is predicated upon that, especially when it comes to this whole thing that they're cutting off regarding SNAP and trying to cut the benefits and stuff like that. But it's all part of this deal to get people to get involved in so that they can worship the image of the beast and receive its mark, while the rest of them, the ones who don't receive it, basically they're going to be targeted, and they're going to be the public enemies, criminals to society. It'd be almost like how it was when the 7 children of that woman were unalived in the first Maccabees. You remember?
You thinking of second Maccabees 7?
Gone. So basically, that's just what it is. So this whole Faustian deal, which is not is a lore. Basically, that's what it is when these people want to take them. And when you get these Israelites out here, these numbskulls that want to say the RFID hip is not the mark of the beast, is spiritual, they will say that that's spiritual. And can somebody get Revelations 13 and 17?
I'm not able to pull precepts. Nakath, you had to get it.
Where's Yoramia? Is Yoramia around? Nakath?
I don't know what happened. I'm not able to get precepts though, because
that's okay. When you go to Revelations 13 and 17, it says that no man can buy or sell save he that has the mark of the beast or the number of his name. And then they want to go to the number of his name. And I was like, what is that about? Well, what's the beast's name? The beast's name is Esau. That's the beast. All right, that number is based upon the wisdom that Solomon had regarding the gold standard, regarding when you go to 1 Kings chapter 10. Because all of it is based upon the economy is based upon a gold standard ultimately, and it's implemented through like how you got money, dollars, or the dollar's backed by gold. We all know that, right?
Yeah. But say that.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that last part.
Dollar, everything that's printed on dollar is backed by gold.
No,
everything that
before that.
is
before that.
Yeah.
You said the verse 10. You're talking about verse 10 or something.
No, I said Revelations 13 and 17.
Okay.
It says that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. Right? They'll say that that's spiritual. So when you're dealing with camps like WFI and some of these other camps that say that the mark of the beast is spiritual, they'll say that that's spiritual. But when you go above that, let's say you go all the way up to what verse 13, they'll say that that's carnal. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yes, it talks about in Revelation 13 and 13 how he calls it a miracle where fire comes down from heaven.
Oh, yep. Right, which is Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Or DEW, if you know anything about that.
You said DEW?
Gone.
Oh, you're talking about direct energy weapon.
Yeah, gone. That's basically really what it is.
Yeah, it's a form of it. And the car said he out.
You say what again?
But I gotta
he left.
I'm back, but I gotta wrap it up, man. I gotta go take a
I gotta go myself, so but we only gonna be up here for a little bit, but we were just talking about how they say that Revelations 13 and 17 is spiritual, but then they want to say that Revelations 13 and 13 is carnal. How are you going to say that Revelations 13 is carnal, but Revelations 13 and 17 is spiritual?
At the end of the day, we just break it down the proper way and the correct way. You know, if they don't get it, they don't get it. But great man, you got a question? This will be the last question, and we're going to get up out of here. Go ahead, ask your question.
Yep. Yeah, put it on the comment board. And, and we'll be back in a couple hours too.
God.
Did we follow each other, Rock?
You talking about me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just started using TikTok like a week ago, so
Yeah.
I don't really know how to use it that well.
I just
Probably.
followed you, Rock. I just
Okay,
followed
okay.
you, Rock. So now
All right,
you
I'll
got
follow you back.
you got 1,000 followers now.
Okay, all right. Oh wow, look at me.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't really care. But yeah, no, I just started using that TikTok just recently, man. I'm on YouTube mostly. Rami, he'll tell you I put up about 3 to 5 videos a day on YouTube. So that's my main platform.
Aquas, you practice the Sabbath by doing right on it, righteous works on it. What I mean is, like when you go to Matthew 6:1, where it says to do alms, where it says be careful, but when you do your alms, do it in secret. Be charitable on the Sabbath. Help your brothers and help your sisters out. There ain't no sin in doing that. It's, listen to the brothers when they come out with the truth, when they coming out with the lessons on how to live life. You know, that's also being charitable, or you're giving on the Sabbath what you can give on the Sabbath.
Well,
And
yeah,
if you can't give nothing on the Sabbath, just be there for the brothers and sisters, the Akim wa Aquathium. That's all. Go ahead, Slack. Go ahead.
you good. When you go in the Torah, it does give you specific instructions on how to observe, but also you could go to Isaiah 58, and that chapter down towards the bottom pretty much tells you to do good deeds on the Sabbath. You know, you could take it for a day of rest, or you could take it for a day of doing good deeds. But I'm going to.
Yeah, we said the same. We saying the same thing.
Yeah. I'm like I said, I'll message you the answers to these questions. But who is the great man? He said, who is the 2 olive trees? The 2 olive trees are the southern and northern kingdom of the Israelites.
Right.
Now you can go to.
Slack it. I'm just lying backing off of what you said. Con. Go ahead.
Now you good. You could go to Jeremiah chapter 11. That's one. I think Zechariah, the 3rd chapter, if I'm not mistaken, Zechariah 3 or 4. I think it's Zechariah 4 actually. Dang, like I said, I'm not able to pull up precepts right now because if I do, then it'll take me off. It'll mute me. But yeah, pretty much it's the southern and northern kingdom.
Slack it. What state are you in? Great Millstone. What state are you in?
I'm down by Mexico. I live in Texas on the border.
Oh, you Northern Kingdom?
How you doing? Yeah, I'm doing good. You know, people say that. People always tell me that I am. I look like Judah, but yeah, people always tell me that they think I'm Northern Kingdom. And
Are you Northern Kingdom or Southern Kingdom?
I look like Southern Kingdom, but people tell me that they think I'm Northern. Everybody thinks I'm Northern Kingdom, so I don't know. It's hard to say, man. When I was a kid, I had a dream of me, and I believe it was in my past life that I was in a native village. And I'm not gonna go into the dream, but it's hard to say, man. I don't know. Either
You're a Jake. I mean, look, rather you be Northern Kingdom or Southern, rather you're not sure. You're a Jake.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
And I could. It's just the spirit. It's your spirit bears witness with my spirit, and what I'm saying, you're saying the same exact same thing. So, game recognize the game, man. So it's good to know that.
But I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all. The 2 prophets, the same answer. Northern and Southern Kingdom, brother. It's the same 2 prophets. All right, that's the same people. Okay, it's not 2 individual prophets, but it's talking about the Northern and the Southern Kingdom. As you can see, prophesying, standing on the streets today, and bringing out this word as we do. Okay, so and sister, when we come back, if you could, in about 3 hours, you could just come back and we'll break down the Sabbath 100% down to the nitty gritty and what to do on it and all of that. All right. And great man, if you have more questions, just come back at that point in time. But I got to go for real. So I'm gonna say shalom to you, brother.
If you have any issues,
all right.
Flock it.
How about Shema Shabbat Thumb?
Now about Shema Shabbat Rakatha, but I wanted to say one quick thing before I head up out of here. If you have any guys come up here talking to you, telling you that you full of shit or something like that, regarding when you breaking down the RFID chip, don't hesitate to bring me up there.
Okay. Hey, 2.5 hours, we'll be back. 2.5 hours from now. Exactly.
I want to say the water for all you Akim. I want to say the water for bringing me up here, Yerami, because I thought it was like somebody was up here, like really messing with you up on your live or something like that.
It's all good. It's all good, man. Hey,
I get like that with any brother, any and every brother. I get like that with. Somebody do that with Abana, I'm there. Anybody I know that's in the truth calling on
you acting like you
Yahweh.
don't know me. Like I don't block people quick. You know me.
No, I know you block people quick, but I'm talking about there's times that you don't, and you had to deal with the person. And I thought that's why everybody was up on here, like regarding everybody's
And I
trying
can
to.
handle it. I got it.
hey, you like to fight, don't you?
Who
You
me?
like, yeah, you like to fight, don't you?
I trained in martial arts, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you didn't know this about me, I trained in martial arts and whatnot. So
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, hey, we gonna let it go though. Hey, we'll be back in 2.5 hours. Exactly.
Hey,
I'm gonna let it go.
Honor and glory be to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem and Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the
Shalom.
great millstone. Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children. As always, Kwam Yasharahla, and a Baba Ball to this wicked kingdom. May Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai destroy this bitch yesterday, man. Shalom.